Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to start with module number 1. So in previous session we have discussed about the syllabus which is there for soil mechanics subject. So in today's session we are going to start with module number 1, and in that we are going to start with the basic, that is what is soil, how the formation of soil takes place. So you can see generally soil will be formed from rocks and boulders. So that soil formation can be categorized in two groups. That is, if soil forms from a bigger boulder, it may be formed by two ways. That is, first one is physical disintegration of rock, and second one is chemical decomposition of rock. So we'll start with first one, that is physical disintegration. So physical disintegration or mechanical weathering of rocks occur due to following physical processes. So this means physical disintegration, or it is also called as mechanical weathering of a rock, takes place by physical processes. What are physical processes? Such as temperature change. When temperature changes, the rocks and the boulders will get cracks, and due to which, I mean, when temperature is very high, the temperature of a rock will increase, and suddenly when temperature drops, temperature of a rock suddenly decreases. So due to this physical process, the disintegration of rock takes place. So this is a very important phenomenon by which uh, forms physical disintegration of rock occurs. Second one, wedging action. So this is a very interesting process. That is, in the rocks there are some pores. So in pores, some water will get accumulated in some rainy season, or in some uh, rainy season water will get accumulated. So in winter season also, due to the frost action in morning, water will get accumulated in the pores of the rock, and due to very low temperature, that water will get frozen. So what will happen when the water will get frozen? The frozen water volume will be little bit more compared to the regular the water which is present in liquid state. So due to which this wedging action takes place and cracks are going to form. Similarly, you can see spreading of roots of the plant. So when plant roots spread across the boulders or rocks, it will cracks will be going to form, and due to which the rocks or boulders are going to get disintegrated and the soil is going to form. So due to abrasion, means abrasion of water, abrasion of wind, or in some glacier areas, abrasion with different natural sources such as water, wind, and etc., uh, the rock will get disintegrated. So second one is chemical decomposition. So due to hydration, so in hydration, water combined with the rock minerals and resulting in formation of new chemical compounds. The chemical reaction causes the change in volume. So this is called as hydration. Similarly, can go through few of the important terms, that is carbonation, oxidation, solution, uh, hydrolysis, etc. So these are the processes by which the uh, rock will get disintegrated and soil is going to form. So actually we are going to move to the very important point from our syllabus, that is phase system of the soil. So till here we have covered about introduction of the soil, formation of the soil, and from here we are going to cover with phase diagram of the soil. So actually forget about phase diagram, it is a some complicated word, or I can feel it as a little bit complex one. So I will explain you the things in a easy way. So when we take a handful of soil, what are the things which will be present in that? So first one will be soil particles, second one will be water, and the third one will be air. So I'll repeat it. When I take a handful of soil, what are the things which are present in that particular soil? Is soil particles and in between those soil particles voids will be present. In that voids, water and air will be present. So actually there are three components which are present in a soil. One is soil particles, second one is water, and third one is air. So where this water and air are present? Water and air are present in the voids, means between the soil grains, whatever the space is there, that is called as voids. So in that voids, the water and air will be present. So generally you can see these three components are combined together in the soil. So for the explanation purpose or for the technical study purpose, we will take these three particles separately and study the phase system. So generally you can see there are three particles which are present in, there are three particles which are present in the soil. So we call them as a phase. I mean there are three phases present in the soil, that is soil particles, water and air. So these three phases are called as three phase. So drawing these three phases together is called as three phase diagram. So what is three phase diagram of the soil? So drawing these three phases of the soil together. So here elements of the soils are explained. So I mean these three are the elements: soil particles, water and air. So these are soil particles. In between the gaps of soil particles, water and air will be present. So we will represent them separately. All the three elements will be represented separately to understand the terms. So you can see when I consider a small amount of small volume of soil, let us think that I have considered V, volume of soil. So whatever the volume is there, in that soil particles are going to be present, water is going to be present, and air is going to be present. So volume of soil solids I am going to consider as Vs, volume of water I am going to consider as Vw, and volume of air I am going to consider as Va. So volume of air plus volume of water will be volume of voids, because you can see over here only in the voids water and air will be present. So total volume of water will be equal to volume of air plus volume of water. So this is volume relation. Now these are volume terms. Now what is weight terms we will see. So you can see volume of soil solids we are going to consider as, weight of soil solids we are going to consider as WD or WS. Weight of water we are going to consider as WW. Weight of air we are going to consider as WA. So total WA plus WW, weight of air plus weight of water, is going to give us weight of voids. So this total combined together is going to give us total weight. But there is some trick here. You can see generally the weight of air is very small. So we are going to neglect this weight of air, and weight of volume will be directly equal to WW, means weight of water, because we are going to neglect this weight of air. So we'll see further. We'll move further here. You can see. So there are few basic terms which we can define. So these are the terminologies which we have used in the phase diagram. So first one is V, that is total volume of soil. VA, volume of air. VW means volume of water. VS means volume of soil solids. So capital W is total weight of soil. WA is weight of air. WW is weight of water. WD is WD or WS we can call it. WD is weight of soil solids. So by using these terms and by using this phase diagram, so let us study in general why we need to study this phase diagram. So this phase diagram helps us to define some basic terms, define some preliminary terms in soil mechanics. So what are those preliminary terms? Those preliminary terms are given over here. So that is nothing but water content, density, unit weight, specific gravity, void ratio, porosity, degree of saturation, percentage of air voids, air content. So these are primary terms which we need to know before studying the soil mechanics subjects actually. So what is this water content? Water content is also known as moisture content. It is defined as ratio of weight of water to the weight of soil solids or dry solids. So WW divided by WD is going to give us water content. So WW means total weight minus weight of soil solids. If I minus, we will get WW. So WW divided by WD is going to give us water content. So I will explain it with the phase diagram. You can see, so total weight W is nothing but weight of soil solids plus weight of water plus weight of air. As weight of air is very small, we are going to neglect this weight of air and we are going to consider only weight of water. So total weight is nothing but weight of soil solids, that is WD, plus weight of water. So you can see same thing we have used over here. So weight of water is nothing but total weight minus weight of soil solids. So it is going to give us this much weight. So that is W minus WD divided by WD. So I am going to simplify it, and I can get this answer after simplifying. So you can see further, we will move further. Next term is density. So before studying density, let us study mass. So mass is nothing but it is a measure of amount of matter in a body. We have studied this in physics. So density is defined as mass of soil per unit volume. In general, density is nothing but mass by volume. Remember, unit of mass is grams or kg. So mass of a soil per unit volume is going to give us the density. Next one is bulk density. Bulk density or mass density is total mass of soil per unit of its volume. So total mass of soil per unit of its volume is going to is nothing but bulk density. So bulk density is nothing but generally we can call it as a density only. Next, dry density. It is very interesting. So what is dry density? Dry density is mass of dry solid. It is very important. Dry solid. Here only we are going to consider total mass. So in numerator we have considered total mass in a density or bulk density. But in dry density we are not going to consider total mass. We are going to consider dry solid mass. Means what is dry solid mass? Without a mass of water. Means it is mass of only soil solids. So dry soil per unit of total volume. So means dry density means it is a ratio of mass of dry solid divided by total volume. So unit for this also is gram per cc or kg per meter cube. So saturated density, when a soil mass is saturated, the saturated density is defined as a ratio of total mass of saturated sample to its total volume. So total mass of saturated sample to its total volume is defined as saturated density. Next, submerged density. When a soil gets submerged inside the water, the submerged density comes into picture. Submerged density means submerged mass of soil divided by total volume. Next terminology is unit weight. So there is a basic difference between density and unit weight. So what is density? Density means mass divided by volume. Unit weight means weight divided by volume. I hope you know the difference between mass and weight. So weight is equal to mass into G. So W is equal to M into G. So in unit weights there are various terminologies. Bulk unit weight, bulk means whole, dry unit weight. So same terminologies we have studied. Here mass comes into picture, here weight comes into picture. So same terminologies we have studied previously in mass. So just I will repeat briefly. Bulk unit weight means it is total weight divided by volume. Dry unit weight means weight of soil solids in a dry condition divided by total volume. Saturated unit weight means weight of saturated soil divided by total volume. Submerged unit weight means weight of submerged soil divided by volume. So submerged unit weight can also be found by using this relation, that is submerged unit weight is equal to saturated unit weight minus unit weight of water. We will move further. Next, specific gravity. It is also a very important term. So it is defined as ratio of weight of given volume of soil solids to the weight of equal amount of distilled water. So weight of soil solids divided by weight of equal amount of distilled water, that is mu S divided by mu W. Mu S means weight of soil solids divided by weight of equal amount of water. So that is said as G. Actually there are two types of specific gravities. One is, there are two types of specific gravities. One, if all the internal voids are excluded. So you can see over here, if all the internal voids are excluded, and determine the true volume of soil solids. So you can see here, unit weight of soil solids divided by unit weight of equal volume is very important over here. Equal volume. So equal volume means what? If I consider a small amount of soil solids, means there will be some gaps between the voids, there will be some gaps between the soil particles, so those are called as voids. So those volume of those voids also we are considering while taking the same amount or same volume of unit weight of distilled water. But if we avoid that, practically it is not possible. If we avoid the volume, or if we reduce the volume of voids, and if we only consider volume of soil solids, by using that, if we calculate the specific gravity, it is called as true specific gravity. Similarly, if we consider total volume, then it is another specific gravity. So this is true or absolute specific gravity. This is normal specific gravity. So this true specific gravity is denoted by Gm. So this regular specific gravity is defined by G. Now void ratio. Void ratio of a given sample is ratio of volume of voids to the volume of soil solids. So VV divided by Vs. So you can imagine a three-phase diagram. So VV divided by Vs. Similarly, porosity is VV divided by V, means volume of voids divided by total volume. Similarly, you can see another terminologies given over here. So next terminology is degree of saturation. It is nothing but it is defined as volume of voids of soil sample, some space occupied by water and rest by air. In fully saturated sample, the voids will get compiled with or filled with the full water. So what is degree of saturation? Degree of saturation can be understood by a very simple way. Whatever the amount of voids which is filled by the water, that is amount of degree of saturation. So degree of saturation is 100%. When degree of saturation will be 100%? When all the voids in a soil sample is filled by the water, then degree of saturation is 100%, and the degree of saturation is denoted by S. If degree of saturation is 100%, S will be equal to 1. When the soil is fully dry, degree of saturation is 0. Next you can see percentage of air voids. So you can go through this percentage of air voids, air content and all the things. These are very important parameters which we need to study. Now before moving to the basic relation between primary terms, primary terms means the terms which we have studied previously. So we need to interrelate those terms. Based on those interrelations, we are going to solve the problems. Before that, there are some interesting things about the phase system of the soil. Actually, there is a three-phase system and there is also a two-phase system. So this three-phase system we can convert to two-phase system in two cases. First case, you can see when the soil is in a completely dry state, what is going to happen? All the voids will be filled by air only. There will be no water. So this is first case when the three-phase system will get converted to two-phase system. Why it is called as two-phase system? There are only two elements. Why that is called as three-phase system? Because there are three elements. Next, when the soil is completely saturated, means value of S will be equal to 1. In that case, air will not be present in the voids, only water will be present in the voids. So during that case the element air is gone, so there are only two elements present, so it is called as weight relations. So based on this only we are going to derive the, based on this phase system only we have studied the various terminologies. So we will move further to the relation. So you can see here, in next classes we are going to study about the basic relation between uh, primary terms. So there are 19 basic relation between primary terms. I have listed out 12 relations in that. So we are going to derive all these relations. So we will start with first one and we will derive all the relations in further classes. Okay, so today we will wind up with the class. In next class we are going to study the basic relations.